Hi, I'm William Burnell. In this program, we're going to be talking about homeopathy, its beginnings, and how it's found its way into the world of natural healing, and also into your corner drugstore. We're also going to be looking at how homeopathy differs from the medical practices of today, and how it's used in the treatment for children, adults, and pets, small, medium, and large. What do Tina Turner, John D. Rockefeller, Mahatma Gandhi, and Queen Elizabeth have in common? They've all been strong supporters of the use of homeopathic remedies for themselves and their families. Today in the United States and throughout the world, millions of people have found balance and harmony with the use of homeopathic remedies. Homeopathy treats acute ailments and chronic diseases, both physical and mental. What is homeopathy, and where did it begin? Basically, homeopathy is an energy medicine. Homeopathic remedies are made from the tinctures of plants, minerals, and other substances. They are so highly diluted that only the vibrational essence of the original substance remains. Now, the basic principles of homeopathy date back to the 5th century BC and the ancient Greek physician Hippocrates. Who can tell me what auspicious title was bestowed upon Hippocrates? Yes?
The father of traditional medicine.
Very good. And Hippocrates was actually one of the first doctors to recognize and use the principles of homeopathy. What is one of the most basic principles of homeopathy? Patsy.
Similia, similibus, cur an tur, like cures like.
Very good, very good. And what does that actually mean, similia, similibus, cur an tur? What does that mean? Ben?
What a substance will cause in large doses, it will cure in a diluted form.
Excellent, very good. Now, most of you are familiar with the medicine ipecac. When you take ipecac in large doses, it induces vomiting, and as such has probably saved many lives in the cases of poisoning. Ipecac is made from a plant called Ipecac cubana. In Spanish, it means the plant that grows by the side of the road, and if you eat it, it'll make you throw up. Now I'm going to give you an example of like cures like, similia similibus cur an tur. When a homeopathic pharmacy takes ipecac and dilutes it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times and comes up with a homeopathic remedy and gives that to an individual, it does not induce vomiting, but it stops vomiting. It stops nausea, and as such is a very valuable remedy to have in your homeopathic first aid kit. We all know about acute remedies, and that homeopathy treats acute situations. It also treats chronic situations. In chronic conditions, we look at the whole individual. We look at the physical, the mental, the emotional aspects of a person. We owe Hippocrates a great deal of gratitude, and especially for a contribution that he made to the world of natural healing. Hippocrates was instrumental in realizing that remedies must be tailored to the individual. And he believed that a person's own powers of healing are essential for a cure, and that these natural, subtle, intrinsic powers of healing are necessary and should be encouraged. In the 16th century, Paracelsus continued this line of thinking, and he linked diseases to external forces, such as contaminated food and water. And then from the 16th to the 19th centuries, despite growing knowledge in science and medicine, the health of the population declined. Medical practices became increasingly more invasive, with the uses of bloodletting and purging as common cures. Physicians often used toxic materials, such as arsenic or lead, which, rather than curing, greatly weakened their patients and drastically reduced their lives. Ironically, in this dreadful state of healthcare, modern homeopathy was born. The father of modern homeopathy was a German physician, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who lived a healthy 88 years from 1755 to 1843. Dr. Hahnemann had become very disenchanted with the medical practices of his day because of the deadly side effects, so he turned from practicing medicine to translating medical texts. Hahnemann was a brilliant man. By age 24, he could read and write 8 different languages. He had already translated over 2,000 pages of medical research. By age 35, he was working on a medical translation by a Dr. William Cullen, a Scottish chemist, who said that quinine was an excellent cure for malaria because of its astringent qualities. But Hahnemann, also a master chemist, knew there were many other substances much more astringent than quinine or cinchona bark. Why was quinine such a great cure for malaria? Hahnemann wanted to find out. He was a scientist. He did an experiment. Inquiring minds want to know. He started taking quinine in large doses to see what the effect would be. And what he found was, with these excessive amounts of quinine, he started having the symptoms of malaria, which are burning fever, bone-rattling chills, and frightful mental delusions. But Hahnemann did not have malaria. He just had the symptoms of malaria. This discovery stimulated extensive research with many other substances. And this proved to Hahnemann scientifically what Hippocrates and other great thinkers had intuitively known, that like cures like. What a substance will cause an overdose, it will cure in diluted form. This is the basic premise of homeopathy. Today, the effects of homeopathy are felt worldwide.
Hello, I'm Dr. Subrata Banerjee from India, Calcutta especially. Homeopathy is very popular in Calcutta and throughout the country in India.
Homeopathically, in India, we treat fairly advanced pathologies. We treat very advanced pathological conditions like brain tumor. I do have a book on the brain tumor being cured by homeopathy. We treat cancers. We treat advanced skin conditions including psoriasis, eczemas. We treat advanced abdominal and all sorts of neurological problems, advanced dementias, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's diseases. Also, we have the opportunity in successfully treating very many advanced emotional problems, including psychiatric disorders. So, homeopathy is the answer. It is one of the safest medical alternatives for the 20th century. When we look for health for all in this world, and homeopathy, on the one hand, safest, gentle and permanent system of treatment, and on the other hand, can be less expensive and can offer you a better physical as well as emotional health.
How does a homeopathic physician prescribe a remedy for you? Homeopathy does not just deal with symptoms. It deals with individuals. We believe that not only physical conditions, but also the emotional and the mental states of a person make up the disease. The basis of homeopathy is that everyone is different. We do not treat the symptoms. We treat the person. If you have a yellow dot on your nose, a homeopath doesn't give you a yellow dot remedy. The physician finds the cause of the yellow dot and treats that, be it physical, mental, or emotional. If you have a headache and you go to your doctor, more than likely he's going to be giving you a painkiller of varying strengths, and you'll probably have some relief from the pain. But what's it really doing? It's only covering or masking symptoms. It's not really getting to the problem. So the cause of your headache still remains. On the other hand, homeopathy seeks to work on the cause of the headache. Determining and treating the cause is the primary objective of homeopathy. Covering symptoms is not a cure. Turning off the smoke alarm seldom puts out the fire. Many other health practitioners have integrated homeopathy into their practices. Homeopathy is bringing fulfillment to the goal of many other treatment modalities, including psychiatry and psychology.
The reason I am very pleased to be in this interview is that I would like everybody to know about homeopathy. It's really extraordinary. The homeopathic treatment does not have side effects because your body is the element that fights the illness. I have been helped enormously with homeopathy. Not only physically, but also psychologically. Therapy with homeopathy. Because the two together, then really, they perform miracles. I'm one of those women who in menopause became very depressed. And I also have problems of my childhood that were lingering, were difficult to deal with. So I consulted a homeopathic doctor. For me, it has been miraculous.
What has caused much of the suffering from chronic diseases in our society? Suppression, the suppression of symptoms. When we have a rash or blemish or burning, itching condition on the skin, it's a sign that the body is trying to throw off toxins out through the skin, one of our largest organs of elimination. Now, when we have a rash and we put on cortisone or some other suppressive ointment, what we are doing is suppressing the toxins. We are pushing them back into the system, creating our own toxic waste dumps inside our bodies. And we are creating a breeding ground for further chronic conditions. Here's a story for you. Say it's garbage day. You take all your garbage out to the curb and leave it there. But it looks so untidy that you bring it back into the house. And then next week on garbage day, you have that garbage and more garbage, and you take it out to the street. But then you're so embarrassed because your neighbors are giving you very unsightly looks. So you bring that back into the house, and you put that in a storage room. And you continue this week after week after week. And pretty soon, you're living in your own toxic waste dump. This is what happens when we suppress the toxins our body is trying to eliminate. Now, I know it's a silly story, but this is what many of us have been doing for years. Slowly and insidiously over time, we are poisoning ourselves with our own toxins until finally our bodies break down and cry out for help. Many chronic conditions can actually be eliminated quickly with proper homeopathic treatment.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Shahan. I'm an acupuncture physician and a homeopath. and I've been studying and exploring and using homeopathy for about 12 years now. I started because of my own problems. I had a bleeding, weeping eczema on my right hand for 7 years, which I had tried many things to cure to no avail. And after finding the right homeopathic remedy, I cured my hand of the eczema in a matter of a week. Homeopathy has changed my life.
There is some criticism against homeopathy in that these remedies that come on little white pills are nothing but placebos and only work because of psychological suggestion. Well, if this is so, how is it that homeopathy is so effective for animals and children? For a look at how homeopathy works for pets, let's talk to Dr. Joel Murphy, a homeopathic veterinarian.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Murphy, and I'm a veterinarian. I've been using homeopathy for about 12 years now in my practice. We first started using homeopathy when we were working with things that could not be treated with traditional allopathic medicine. For instance, feather picking in exotic birds. Simple things like viral diseases in dogs and cats. We have no traditional medicine for this, and homeopathy really aids us in our traditional veterinary practice. Now, this is what originally got me into homeopathic medicine. We have a condition in birds called feather picking. As you can see here, birds start pulling out their feathers, and these beautiful, beautiful birds will look like plucked chickens after a few days of this. Homeopathy, there's no traditional medicine. I worked for 10 years with a group of psychiatrists and psychologists. We went through all of the human drugs that they use in mental hospitals for people that mutilate themselves and injure themselves or pull their hair out. None of those drugs were effective in birds. When we started using homeopathy, we had a 40% and continue to this day to have about a 40% success rate, which is, in veterinary medicine, tremendously high success rate for treating feather picking in these guys.
Hi, my name is Dale Roeder, and this is my horse, Pal. Pal and I have been together for about 5 years. When I got Pal, he had some health problems. Specifically, he had one chronic problem. He had chronic thrush in his hooves. I had him treated by traditional vets. They came up and they gave him topicals, they gave him injections. None of it worked. If anything, the thrush got worse. Their answer to me ultimately was, your horse is prone to thrush, therefore just accept it. So I sought alternative therapies. And I managed to stumble upon Dr. Fudens, who treats horses with homeopathy. He came out and evaluated my horse, and within 30 days my horse had improved significantly. No longer had to soak his feet, no longer had to do topicals. 2 years later, the horse is in perfect health. I don't even have to pick his feet out to prevent thrush. He has absolutely no indication of any thrush in his feet at all. I cannot recommend homeopathy enough, and he's a picture of health. He gets no colds, he doesn't get sick, he doesn't get colic. He's an easy keeper, has a great disposition, and is very happy.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Fudens. I graduated from Cornell, New York Veterinary College in 1964, and I was very traditionally trained, of course, nothing but drugs, surgery, vaccines. In 1989, I totally disavowed conventional medicine, and I went to totally the holistic approach. In 1982, I started with homeopathy and radionics. As an example, Pal, the horse that you just saw on the video. When I first looked at him, his disease process was concentrated in his foot, okay? That's where the pathology was, but that's not correct. His pathology technically was in his immune system. His immune system had been damaged by conventional medicine, particularly the vaccines. Conventional medicine is promoted to us as a cure-all, and it is not. But conventional medicine cannot prevent or treat chronic disease. And this is the disease or the symptoms or problems that day after week after month after year, every human and every animal has. Homeopathy, herbs, acupuncture, your natural approach allows the immune system in the body to do its own healing. The animals and the people who practice this modality of therapies are the proof that it does work.
What can you expect from taking a homeopathic remedy? Everyone is different, and each situation has its own requirements. Generally, we look for 3 different conditions when someone starts a homeopathic remedy. 1, mental clarity. 2, emotional stability. And 3, physical expression, which means changes for the better in, say, skin eruptions or a muscular skeletal condition. In my own practice, I've seen some excellent results in dealing with conditions which are difficult to treat by conventional methods. Say, Parkinson's disease. Now let's take a look at Jim Davis. When Jim first came to see me, he couldn't feed himself. His hands shook so badly, he couldn't get the food to his mouth.
About 10 days ago, I couldn't eat by myself. Well, I'd shake and the spoon would fall down. The spoon would be going up and down like that. It'd shake like hell. I mean.
Well, I'll say I was amazed when he took the first dose and called me in and said, look what this did. And he was eating his supper, and that was the first dose he'd had, and his hand was not shaking. And so it's been like that ever since. Now for 10 days he's been able to get his food up to his mouth.
First time, I thought, boy, that's a hell of an invention there. Had a little old bottle, just take a drop at a time. I'm healthy, I'm normal. I mean, really. For a guy that's all crippled up like I am, I'm in great shape. Look at this. Yeah, it has changed my life, especially this hand here. Well, I'm glad that I use that every day. You ought to see the work I'm doing.
Shelby Nungesser. This is my niece Tiffany. She's 5 years old. A year ago, she fell and hurt herself on monkey bars. And about 3 weeks later, her mother called me and said that she was still complaining of a little pain. So she said that she had taken her to the emergency room and there were no broken bones, but the doctors had not done anything for her. So she asked me what she should do. I said, how about I take her to the acupuncture clinic and check out the homeopathic doctor over there? And so she allowed me to do that, and I took her over there, and there was Dr. Bill and Mary McGann. They did acupuncture on her, 4 needles and arnica cream and arnica pellets, and within 3 hours, she was totally healed. There was no more pain. The second opportunity, I had to take her to the clinic. She had burning when she went to the bathroom, so I guess she had a bladder infection. She went to see Dr. Bill. He gave her some pulsatilla, and within 2 days or less, her mother said she had no more symptoms. She also, during that time, had had some problems, discipline or emotional problems at school. The teacher had called her mother a couple of times, but after the homeopathic medicine, she didn't have a problem anymore. So I think homeopathic's great.
My name is Marilyn Perlman, and I'm both an occupational therapist and a clinical social worker, and I've been working in this field for more than 25 years. It's been my experience as a therapist that with a combination of homeopathy and traditional therapies together, that there has been the most valuable and comprehensive results possible. Since my practice specializes in working with children who have attention deficit disorder and learning disabilities as well as behavioral problems, I have found fantastic results for many of these children that would not have normally been addressed through traditional methods. I began using homeopathy for myself more than 20 years ago when I was unable to find much satisfaction in remediating healthcare problems that I had that were not amenable to traditional medical model approaches. As a result of a very satisfying experience from that time and many successes thereafter in working with my own healthcare issues as well as my family's, I've come to greatly appreciate the value of homeopathy and its impact upon my life.
This is Travis, and he's used homeopathy since he's been just a little guy, and sometimes when he gets hurt he even asks for it himself because he knows that it helps his body. And we don't have to use any of the drugs and things that are going to give side effects that don't really work for him. Just the good healing energy that's in the homeopathic remedies.
That's right.
This is my son Zachary, my oldest son, my son Nathan, and my daughter Mira. I have one other daughter who couldn't be with us today. And they've all had homeopathics as part of their natural, holistic approach to health. I've used homeopathic medicine on them exclusively almost for the childhood illnesses, and it's been wonderful for them. It strengthens the whole immune system so that it's very preventative. And too, you don't have the side effects. You don't have the depletion that you get with the antibiotics. You don't have the waning of the immune system that you have with repeated strong drugs. What you do have is very powerful medicine at work. So I'm very happy and very grateful that our family discovered homeopathy.
Homeopathy naturally strengthens the immune system and allows the body to heal itself. Drugs or even homeopathic remedies do not heal the system. Homeopathy brings the body to a state of balance and strengthens the vital force, allowing the nervous system to function more effectively and thereby heal itself. Homeopathy has been used to treat everything from asthma to herpes zoster and has proven to be effective in situations ranging from minor ailments to the most life-threatening conditions.
Hi, my name is Marcella D. Haim. I'm a Reiki practitioner and a body worker, and I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis about 6 years ago, and it left me pretty crippled. I had difficulty walking, I couldn't drive my car, I couldn't brush my hair. I was faced with life in a very different way that I had been used to living it, and was very dismayed when I was told that I would probably never get better. The rheumatologist that I was seeing had sent me to a pain management clinic, and I was not happy with the results of that particular experience. And a friend of mine suggested that I see a homeopathic physician. And after an initial 5-hour visit with this wonderful woman, I began an intensive treatment program, homeopathic remedies and acupuncture combined. And within a year, all traces of the arthritis were gone. And I am today quite healthy and well and flexible and have no more reoccurrences of pain or stiffness in my joints. I think that homeopathy changed my life. I think that homeopathy saved my life.
Fortunately, homeopathy is making a comeback. Homeopathy was very popular in the late 1800s. There were 14,000 homeopathic physicians, 22 homeopathic medical schools, and over 100 homeopathic hospitals. Homeopathy is becoming more popular today because people are taking responsibility for their own health care, and they're seeking natural solutions for their problems. In these days of heavy pollution and a ravaged environment, it is essential that we develop practices which strengthen our immune and defensive systems. Homeopathy is truly the medicine of the 21st century, here for us today.